Welcome to Final Fights. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who loves to arbitrarily turn knobs. It's Norbert Morvan.
Get away from her, you bitch! Yeah, let's go.
And you know, in this scene, she flips about 14 buttons to open up that bay door to allow the Queen Alien to get sucked out.
I know that flipping switches is your thing, but you gotta understand, space is a deadly place, so you have to make every basic function as complicated as possible, because you know some jerk will be walking around drinking space vodka, and oh, what's this button do? And just kill everybody. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. So during our Alien podcast, I went off on all the button smashing, but that makes sense. You can't just have a red button that says blow up in a hallway.
You can't.
You have to have about 8 levers beforehand.
You saw how complicated it was, and that wasn't even to blow up the ship, what she was doing in the first movie. That was just to turn off the cooling system. You still had like 10 minutes after you do all that for the damn thing to blow up.
I just hate how in the director's cut of Alien, she is flipping like little buttons for about 45 seconds in one take. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack.
Your thing is with the flipping of the switches. I remember just the very slow separation of the Narcissus of the Nostromo from the overall giant refinery, and just and that's like 5 minutes, man. I'm like, come on, let's get to the planet, yo.
Yeah, let's get down there.
Star Trek. Yeah, Star Trek, when they just had the Enterprise fly past very slowly for 10 minutes. Jesus.
Well, none of that happens in this fight.
No, thank God. Let's get to the fight, baby.
All right, so leading up to this, I guess we'll do like a who, what, where, when, why. All the Marines, so everyone has seen Aliens, and if you haven't seen this fight, just go watch the movie. It's currently streaming on, I don't know, I think it's on HBO right now. Or if it's not, you'll find the final fight online. So
definitely.
Now, I gotta ask you something.
Go for it.
When Ripley goes to save Newt, which is amazing. She goes down into the facility. She is there to save Newt. She gets Newt, and she and the alien queen have a stare down with each other.
Right.
And there's a couple of xenomorphs are creeping up on Ripley. Ripley lights her flamethrower, shows the queen alien what's up. The queen alien sends the xenomorphs away.
Yes, correct.
Then Ripley's walking away, and granted, she does see that the egg is opening with the facehugger. Ripley just basically made a deal with the Queen Alien.
That's right, man.
And then Ripley just goes, screw it, and unloads her bandolier, her grenades, her gun, her rockets. She blows up every single facehugger egg imaginable after she made a deal with the Queen Alien.
Right.
So I thought this was pretty interesting on the making of documentary. They were talking like Ellen Ripley, Sigourney Weaver, was what she likes about Cameron is they gave this Queen Alien like the rights of motherhood. This Queen Alien was legit pissed. So
correct.
When you're watching this, you know all the terrible things that these xenomorphs have done, but the Queen Alien is essentially just a really pissed off mother that wants to kick the living snot out of Ripley because she made a deal with Ripley. Ripley backed out on it and then killed all of her thing.
Well, here's how I look at that scene. They Cameron, to his credit, a giant 12-foot monster. He gives it more pathos than most of these CGI things we've been seeing in the last 10 years. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
With no words, you understand, okay, A, this thing is brilliant, first of all. B, this thing understands that Ripley is here to not just murder her, but her children. And C, is intelligent enough to be like, okay, I'm going to trick her. You see, that's the thing. The queen is trying to trick her, man. If you read, I don't know if you have, but there's a big extended comic book universe that, of course, 20th Century Fox completely ignored. But the queen's got control over everything in that room, basically.
Wow.
So that egg didn't open up on by accident. She did that on purpose to try to screw her because, at the end of the day, you're in my realm, bitch. I'm going to eat you. You're going to make my babies. And then, she absolutely does get pissed off. That scream, as they're running to the elevator, Ripley just looks back. Oh shit. That's because as you've seen, these things The only reason why they make noise in part 3, part 4, and Covenant and all of that other stuff is because monsters just make noise now for no reason, you know? But if something's trying to hunt you down and murder you, it's quiet, bro. And the first and second movies established that these things don't make noise for no reason. So when you hear that scream, it's like, oh shit, she's pissed. Everybody gets that immediately. It is brilliant, man. Yeah, the motherhood angle.
And I kind of dig that it was just so... It reminded me of John Lithgow from Cliffhanger.
Yes!
When John Lithgow is so distraught that Sylvester Stallone lied to him. That seems like this Queen Alien. It's like, come on. There's so much goo in that scene, by the way. So much goo.
Hey, listen, to make up for lack of CGI during that era, it was all about goo and entrails.
That's right. Just dripping everywhere.
And just fantastic puppetry, quite frankly. Remember, he walks in, it looks like some kind of secreted resin. Yeah, but secreted from what? Nobody touched nothing.
Oh, I love that scene.
Man. Yeah.
And
it's gotta be good.
I was watching a ton of these, not a ton. I was watching 2,000 of the documentaries. But what I learned, so James Cameron was talking about with the Queen Alien. I don't know if you noticed this. He's like, look at her legs, man. He's like, I made the legs more feminine of the Queen Alien. And then he made her feet look like a high heel.
Yeah.
And you know what's fun? He's like, as a joke. And then my wife Megan walks by and she's like, he sounds very pleased with himself, which I thought was really funny. I mean, he should be. But I kind of like that aspect of the Queen Alien. And Sigourney Weaver said the same thing, too. And I love that its legs were on rods, and then there was just two people working the thing. And then there was a very large man in the back of the loader that Sigourney Weaver was in.
Right, moving her around. So that's incredible. Yeah, go ahead.
And what makes this fight scene work, and I'm sure you're all over this, but it's just the sound mixing and the sound editing and design. I mean, that walker that she was in, it was probably just cardboard. Not really, but it was enough for her to move. And the hissing of the Queen Alien, that took the place of a lot of the score. When the score is very subtle in the background, the hissing of the Queen Alien really takes place for the score. So
a couple of things about that. That movie won an Academy Award for sound, actually.
It should have.
It won an Academy Award for sound, and also James Horner, he ended up doing the music for Titanic as well, for James Cameron. You know, James Cameron, he was on that Roger Corman school of let's make a movie in 10 minutes. Go.
Yeah.
It was like, what? So that pissed off, you know, the UK workers, and he gave Horner like a very short amount of time to make this score. So that's why, you know, that ding, 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 that incredible music that's now in like every trailer. That's why it's repeated so often, because Horner didn't have time to make the score the way he wanted it to. So you get all of these moments of just silence, man. This is what makes these alien movies scary. Silence. And then just, you're like, holy God, it's right behind me.
And I gotta tell you, I have watched this movie, I don't know, 12 times, at least.
I'm watching it right now. I'm watching it right now.
And when, let's see, oh man, why did I just forget his name? I have it in mind. When Bishop gets torn in half, when he gets the Queen Alien tail through his chest and then ripped in half, that... It feels like the first time. Feels like the first. Like that song should come up because it's like I always forget because I'm just so happy that Bishop is happy. Hey, Ripley finally is nice to me, and then the rip. I mean, that is a brutal rip in half by the Queen Alien is pissed.
Yes, it's everything here that the Queen does is rage. As we've seen from the first two movies, the aliens, they don't toy with you, you know. They inner jaws, bang, pharyngeal jaws to the brain, dead. You're done. You know, that's it. That's what we see. They crush you. This thing rips the guy in half because it has a sense also that he's not human. Yeah. They can sense that. And after she rips him in half, she doesn't just charge at Ripley. She gives her the stare, and you're oh Jesus Christ! And the thing has no eyes, man. It's just teeth on like a body of legs and claws. It's just terrifying, the whole thing.
What a perfect design. I mean, it's a perfect specimen, they say, and it's just a wonderful design.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant, yeah.
I like that the early iterations, they just put it on a forklift and use a bunch of trash bags and some rudimentary stuff, and they're like, yeah, we can make that work.
Well, the fact that you get the idea that, at least in the director's cut, you know, they're like bugs, man, you know, and there's a queen, she's big, she's badass. Once, I wish they had kept that in the theatrical version, because for a lot of people who are not into sci-fi, that would have really, Okay. Because Cameron, he has the Marines the whole time, oh, it's a bug hunt. It's a bug hunt. It's a bug hunt. So you get the idea, yeah, that these things, they're probably like creatures, but also you call something a bug hunt. That's because you're invincible, man. You're not scared of ants.
Yeah.
People hate roaches. You see them in your house, but a roach, you just crush it, man. That's it. So bug hunt. And then you get to realize, oh, wait, the bugs are 12 feet tall. It's not a game.
And I just love, another thing I love about the storytelling in this, I don't care if I'm fawning all over this movie. If you can fawn all over a movie, it's this one. And
it's arguably the greatest, most influential sci-fi movie of all time. You look at the number of video games that just straight ripped it off.
Yes.
Alien Syndrome, Xenophobe. I mean, you look at the way Contra is. The boss in Contra is one of the bosses in Contra is just the alien queen. And this went on forever.
And the gun that Vasquez had.
Yeah.
You see that in other shows.
Yeah. It's incredibly influential.
Now, I didn't watch this in a little while. And I sort of forgot that this fight, Ripley smashes it with so she gets into the loader. She says, "Get away from her, you bitch." And she smashes the alien queen with her left arm. Then smashes it with the right, then grabs the head. Then the queen alien throws 2 tail strikes at her head. She moves out of the way. Then she, grabs the neck after she opened up the bay doors. And the little thing inside the head strikes at her twice. She uses a flamethrower, and then they both fall into the cargo bay door. So, or the loading dock, whatever it is. So
that would wait. Don't tell me airlock.
That's what it is.
Outer space. Yes.
and so this fight wasn't as. And thank you for that. I should have known.
No problem, brother.
I remember it being longer and more epic, but I think they did it right and they worked around the budget of the film. You have the tail that is striking. That's smart. You have the iconic mouth inside the mouth shooting at Ripley. The classic line.
I have learned that is called pharyngeal jaw.
Pharyngeal jaw. See, that's why I bring you on these things.
No problem, brother.
I do all the behind the scenes stuff, like I know about how they put the legs on rods and all that kind of stuff.
Totally. And then I come out of nowhere with flux capacitor.
But this fight, okay, it's not as epic as I remembered. I watched it a lot growing up, but it's been a few years. I remembered the Ripley holding on with the elbow maneuver in the airlock. I remembered the "get away from her, you bitch." I don't remember any of the punches. I remember the tail. But as far as, you could not make this an epic fight. You really, at the time, with a 12-foot giant creature and a cardboard loader with sound effects that make it sound metallic, you couldn't fight that long.
Okay, well, I think the reason being, we have seen that up until now, these creatures are nigh invulnerable unless you have 7mm explosive caseless rounds, to shoot these things and blow them up. A regular handgun doesn't work. You remember in the air duct, as Vasquez is wounded, she's shooting it with a regular gun, and it's just bouncing off the head until she gets really close, you know? So you can't use your regular 9mm gangster gun. So what happens is Ripley can't fight this thing hand to hand. But the whole movie, you get the fact that she's lost everything. She's lost her daughter. She's lost the people who were kind to her friends on that ship. She's got nothing left. These things have completely broken her down. So the epicness in the battle doesn't come from, ooh, Ripley did a backflip. It comes from, this is her catharsis. And you can read it in Sigourney Weaver's face the whole time. The way she, those guttural, those power screams that she does as she's lifting this thing up. It's not so much from effort as it is just, I have to kill this thing. This is the only way I'm going to get over this and get my life back on track. And it's really cool how you get foreshadowing in the earlier scenes where she's moving the box, like, where you want it.
Yeah. Because that's her job now, is the loading box.
Right. So she knows how to rock